Okay, boys, let's bring it home with a round of pep.
Yep, you heard, woman. It's time for us to go home and get the hell up out of here. And with that being said, it's time for another edition of Pepper. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can see, but we got B Live over here researching notes, and we got Scottie D doing the conga chonga. I don't know what he's doing, but he's happy as he can be. All right. You know how we do it. 3 topics, rapid fire style, kind of sort of not really, to enlighten, entertain, and all that stuff. Scottie D is you got to either Scottie D is unloosening a wedgie or doing the cabbage patch.
I think he was doing a shimmy.
The shimmy.
I think he was doing a shimmy.
Shimmy, shimmy, shake, baby.
The money man shimmy. The money man shimmy. or what's it? Antoine Walker. Anyways, we over here killing.
I swear that was
some pepper. Let's have some pepper.
Was the most. We digress.
Yeah, we digress. We get a little slap happy. All right, and my first topic will be about the Cincinnati Red Stockings. All right. Of course, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I like giving you guys a little bit of history lesson. And with that being said, on this day back in 1869, the Cincinnati Reds, formerly known as the Red Stockings, played their first professional baseball game versus the Great Western Baseball Club. The Reds win. Y'all ready for this one? Are you ready for the score?
I'm ready.
Got for us
45-9.
Stop it.
I'm not lying. I wish I could make this up because before we start this segment, I had to go do some research. All right, so here we go. It says on Wikipedia, of course, which, you know, grain of salt. But anyways, the professional Cincinnati Red Stockings played the first game on May 4th, 1869, with a 45-9 win over the Great Westerns of Cincinnati. That team, the Red Stockings, won 57 games and lost 0. They didn't lose a single damn game. Yeah. Only counting matches with association clubs. Those for Major League Baseball. They played over 60 games, counting outside teams. Their commercial tour of the Continental Scope, visiting both Boston and San Francisco, was unprecedented and may be essentially unrepeated. So they were traveling. They pretty much like the first ever traveling team. The first season ended on November 6th at home, with the Cincinnatis beating the Mutuals of New York 17-8.
The Mutuals.
Yeah. So nobody just played defenses. This is what's going on. We be blowing people out of the building. This is crazy. Over to you, Scottie D.
All right. So the NHL season is winding down. Congratulations, boys. The Hurricanes are in first place with 74 points as of Monday night. That is the most in the NHL. Vegas out west, 1 point less, 74. They're leading their division. The Maple Leafs leading the North with 71 points. And after going to Washington for 2 games and winning them both, your Pittsburgh Penguins are in first place in the East. Here we come, baby. I think NHL playoffs coming up on. I'm going to pick the Penguins to win the Stanley Cup. Be Live, over to you.
Wow. So the Penguins are leading. You said they're leading their division, right? Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure. Just gonna pull up real quick. Just want to make sure to confirm who's leading the entire national.
I just told you. You don't have to look it up. I just told you. It's the Canes. They have 75 points. They have the most.
I just want to
Penguins
emphasize
have 71.
that.
They have 71. They'll probably have the most by the very end. Probably. They'll probably win the Stanley.
We'll see the Eastern Conference Finals. You know, that would be very interesting. The Hurricanes.
Yeah, I like the Penguins to win that series. Be Live, over to you.
Oh, woo! All right.
I like the Penguins to win it all. Be Live, over to you.
Oh, this son of a oh boy! All right, so let me bring it back. Get ready for this storm surge. I'm telling you that right. All right. Well, on the heels of the NFL draft, you featuring 256 college players getting a chance to come up to the pros. We already know it was overshadowed by one Aaron Rodgers, but yet there was someone else that they decided that this was their opportunity to shine. With the Jacksonville Jaguars picking up Trevor Lawrence as the number one draft pick and his upside and everything. Another former college football quarterback standout decided that he might want to come back and rejoin the NFL by the tunes of one Tim Tebow.
Oh, Lord.
But here's the kicker. Why would Tim Tebow want to rejoin? He wants to join the Jaguars. Let me also put that there. He wants to join the Jaguars. But wait, they have their quarterback. They have their franchise quarterback. So why would the former Heisman quarterback want to join the Jaguars?
Why would he do that, B-Live?
Because finally, after all this time, and everybody telling him that he would be better suited in another position because of his accuracy woes as quarterback, you would make a better tight end. You'd have a career as a tight end. This would be a better fit for you. You should be a tight end. And he was bullheaded at the time and stuck with being a very mediocre quarterback. He chooses now to switch over. And now he wants to be a tight end for the Jaguars. Tim Tebow, I love your stance and what you believe in and all the good that you brought to this world. But because of this boneheaded move and the timing of it all, Tim Tebow, penalty box, cut it out. I cannot believe that you chose now to want to switch over to tight end. And just, Eddie cool, just the ball.
I bet it'd be good on Jeopardy.
Jesus Lord. Oh.
Hey, AEW, if you're looking for a new tag team, I got a concept for you. It's called the Thunder Steelers. And they consist of Aaron, Rodgers, and Tim. I'm trying to come back as tight end, Tebow. Yes, I said it, the Thunder Steelers. Moving on with my second pepper point. The NFL draft, as B-Live mentioned, concluded this weekend. And, of course, everybody was getting drafted, even long snappers. Yeah, that's right. Not one, but two long snappers got drafted this year. The first one was Thomas Fletcher, right? And the reaction of Thomas Fletcher was very funny. He got a call from Panthers head coach Matt Rule. He said, "Hey, man, you ready?" And Thomas Fletcher looked at I don't know about that. He's like, "No, you've been drafted." He's like, "Are you serious?" Yes. It's like, oh my God, it was, he cussed a little bit, but it was happy cussing. See, cussing ain't bad. Sometimes you happy cuss. So he would do some happy cuss. Yeah, it was bleepity bleep bleep bleep, expletives and exaltations. Shout out to the legendary Doc Emmerich for that word. And so he got on the phone with Panthers with David Tepper. He said, "Hey man, are you ready to come to Carolina?" He said, I'm gonna help y'all win some games, man. And he said, now quote, "I will walk my happy ass to Carolina right now."
Happy cussing.
Happy cussing.
Happy cussing.
Happy cussing. The man's enthusiastic. And the other long snapper that got drafted was Cameron Cheeseman from the University of Michigan. And he goes to Joey Buckets, Joe Gaffigan's Washington Football Admirals football team, FC United DC, F-Lo, Blilo. Over to you.
Hey, Scottie D, this your time to shine. Let them know something. Put some pepper on it.
I'm sorry, old you, Scottie D.
All right, so to baseball, Jacob deGrom of the New York Mets in the month of April had 5 starts and posted a 0.51 ERA, 59 strikeouts to 4 walks, and he had 3 straight starts with 14 Ks. In 2 separate games, one last week against Boston and on April 10th against the Marlins, he allowed a single run and lost both times. He's allowed 2 runs this season and lost twice.
Mm.
Mets lineup is anemic right now. I think Pete Alonso has the highest average with like a 259. Francisco Lindor can't even get to 200 yet. Early, but guys, do better. This dude, he's trying to win a Cy Young. Do better, Mets. Be live. Over to you.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But then again, it is it's the NL East right now, and none of the teams really want to do right at all. Like the Mets are still leading the division with a 500 record. So if that tells you what's going on
he needs run support though. They got to get this dude some run support.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They got to get him that, man, because he can't be out there just like throwing straight gas and then like losing games by one run and stuff. It's ridiculous.
No.
Oh my goodness! Look, just a quick little research just to back you up. The Mets have the least runs scored in all of baseball.
And they lead the division.
They're one of 3 teams that haven't even scored 100 runs, and they're not even close.
Ugh.
They've scored 71 runs. They've only allowed 83. So they're the only team there's one other team that's allowed less than 90 runs. They're one of them. And so, but yeah,
do better.
The Mets could be doing a lot. They could be doing a lot better if they score some runs.
Yep.
But yeah, so back to what I was talking about, because we really don't care about what Scottie D has to say and Storm Surge. Let's go. I'm gonna take this opportunity because we are Sports Bros by the fan for the fan. When something's brought to our attention from one of our listeners, one of our viewers, you know what? I want to include it on the show. So, terrible Pete Talansky brought it to our attention when it comes to the NFL draft that in the past 16 years, there have been 3 schools that have had a draft pick in the first 3 rounds. In the past 16 years straight, there's 3 schools that have had a player drafted in the first 3 rounds. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Alabama, not one of them.
Oh.
Clemson, not one of them. Ohio State, not one of them. Oklahoma, not one of them. The 3 schools that have had a draft pick in the first 3 rounds the past 16 years are the likes of LSU, the University of Southern California, and I'm going to do it for him. We are Penn State. Wow. So I was like, that is, you know what? That's a little bit to brag about. And speaking of the last time Penn State has not had a draft pick in the first 3 rounds, back in the 2005 draft, which had the likes of the now retired Alex Smith being picked number 1. That was the same draft year that Aaron Rodgers was picked in the first round. And just a couple other stats that 3 running backs were picked in the top 5 of this draft. So how everything has changed. The 3 running backs at the time, Ronnie Brown went to the Dolphins, number 2. Cedric Benson went to the Chicago Bears at number 4. And Cadillac Williams went to the Buccaneers at number 5 pick. So that was the last time Penn State did not have a first 3 rounds draft pick. So shout out
to be winning more championships with all those draft picks, huh?
You would think, but yeah. No, with that being said, we are the Sports Pros. Eddie Cool, the ball.
Nice.
That be us, and us is we. All right. With that being said, my third and final pepper point, I want to say happy birthday to the one, the only Rory Mcilroy. On this day in history, he was born. He got to see his mama, his daddy, and some other people. Yes, he did. A little quick reminder: he's a 2011 U.S. Open winner, 2014 British Open winner, the PGA Championship in 2012 and 2014, and the FedEx Cup in 2016 and 2019. Happy birthday to Rory Mcilroy. Over to you, Scottie D.
Still looking for that green jacket, though.
Yep.
All right. This past Saturday, the Run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby went down. Medina Spirit was the winner, Funky Cold Medina. And that was the 7th win for trainer Bob Baffert. That's the most. Bob Baffert, he's like the Tom Brady now of the horse racing era. And jockey John Velasquez won his 4th.
Afterwards, he said he was very happy to win yet another Kentucky Derby.
Because every jockey talks like that. Either every jockey talks like that or the same jockey has won every year since I've been born. Anyway, congratulations to Bob Baffert and Funky Cold Medina Spirit for winning the Run for the Roses.
Beeline, over to you.
Where do they create these jockeys at, though? Because they're all 5'1".
They come from Oz.
They're 5'1", 100 pounds, soaking wet with work boots on. Every single one. I'm like, where they are they genetically manufactured? But hey, I'm just saying.
I think Nike makes them. Nike pumps them.
Dry fit jockeys. Yeah.
But so with my third and final pepper point, I'm gonna take this opportunity to give a quick shout out to a couple fans out there that are big LA Laker fans. You know, I gotta go ahead and just put that out there. One, Scott Donnelly.
Nope.
And but this one especially goes to the LeBron lover himself, Tim Livingston, because Scottie D wants to make sure that the world knows that he is not a LeBron fan; he's a Lakers fan.
Yes.
So I'll give you this much. But as it sits right now, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers are tied for the 6th spot in the Western Conference. Why is that significant? It's because with the rule change this year, there's actually going to be a play-in tournament for the final 2 seeds, the 7th and 8th seed. So the play-in tournament will feature the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th ranked teams. So LeBron James last year, when they were setting up the whole COVID and the protocol and everything got going on, he was a fan if you were in striking distance of the playoffs. Yeah, they should be able to play it out. They should be able to fight it out and everything. Because at the time, the Lakers were sitting nice and pretty, ain't have to worry about making the playoffs.
Hey, B-Live, should I do it in typical SpongeBob fashion? 1 year later.
Now, because they're almost on the outside looking in, and now they have to play maybe a possible couple more games, and could eventually might be sitting at the house. LeBron James has changed course and says whoever came up with this play-in idea should be fired. LeBron James, why the change? What? As I would like to say, LeBron, what happened? What happened? Now you were a fan of it last year, where you didn't have to worry about it. This year, now you got to play a couple extra games, and you're not allowed to do that because everything that you say can and will be held against you in the court of the sports bros. So we're gonna bring up, like, you know how people like to say don't be bringing up old stuff. We're gonna be bringing up old stuff, bro. You can't be doing that. You gotta.
His ankle hurts.
You gotta do better, and y'all better get it together, because y'all could be sitting on the outside looking in after this whole playoff situation. Because just saying, anything can happen. Do not sleep on Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors.
It was on fire.
And I'm telling you, that would be very intriguing. You got right now in San Antonio, is that the 10th spot. So it'll probably be if Portland were to jump the Lakers, it would be Lakers versus the Spurs. But I could change because the Spurs are only half a game. Anything can happen. LeBron James, do better and put some stank on it. Yes, sir.
I like the Penguins winning the Stanley Cup. Be live, over to you.
Storm Surge coming at you.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, it's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast. But before we go, you guys got any parting words before we go out of here? Or watch this episode of Monday Night Raw?
Penguins going to the Stanley
Do something
Cup.
nice. Do something nice.
Over to you, Scottie D.
Do something nice for yourself.
Okay, Scotty. I can take a hint. Like I told a lady the other day, I can take the hint, ma'am. Check us out.
I was just trying it out. That's all.
Hey, man, you never know. Check us out on all of our Sports Bros related platforms. You can check us out on the Sports Bros Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Look in the description box. That's where you'll find us at, okay? All over the place. And shout out to everybody that's joined the Sports Bros family, because just like families in real life, we're going to keep growing. We love you and thank you. Shout out to our day one listeners and our viewers on YouTube. And in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They will greatly appreciate it now more than ever. All right? Take care of each other. May is Mental Health Month. Show some love, and we're getting ready to fade up out of here. It's been another episode of the Sports Bros Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
I hate you. Yes, sir.